Ladies and gentlemen, you are now listening to the Talking Nonsense About Impact Wrestling podcast. Cross the line in 3, 2, 1.
TNA. What's going on, everybody? My name is Geoff. Welcome to the Talking Nonsense About Impact Wrestling podcast. Thanks for rocking with us right here live, 8 p.m. On twitch.tv/TNAIW channel. I'll get my shit together. I'm having fun. It's been a great day for me outside of this, despite the technical difficulties that we might come across. It is storming outside. It was a 100-degree day, and I am feeling every degree of it. But we're going to have a good time because we have a lot to talk about, and hopefully the chats light up because we have no competition. Now, Forbidden Doors tonight. We'll get into that a little bit in regards to some thoughts I've been hearing from people regarding the lack of New Japan presence on these last tapings. And then, of course, we're going to dip into that pretty deep. Right after this, 9:15 p.m., it premieres live, The Impact Zone Episode 5, Max and myself, after a little bit of a hiatus, the Slammiversary hiatus, which is going to change too, by the way. We got to talk about that in a second. Friday shows. But yes, you could catch the Impact Zone 9:15 p.m. right after this. We're going to go a deep dive into the depth charts now after post Slammiversary and everything that's going on between Lady Frost and some things we'll touch tonight with the Briscoes and all that in between. So go check that out. Make sure you give a like, subscribe, all that jazz, guys. But I'm happy to be here. We got a fun show for you. We're going to do the fastest Slammiversary review in history. If a lot of you saw, which it seems you guys did, what's going on, Datila? You guys checked out our talking points with myself, Io, Mr. Impact, Craig, and Lucha. What a good time, man, that was. We're going to bring that back monthly for you. Obviously, some big success numbers-wise for us. But speaking of that, 3,800 on Twitter. Shout out to Io for the hard work he puts in there. Well, he does it all the time. And then when I'm here from time to time, you can see the little annoying ones, emoji-filled ones, that's me. But he's rocking it there, so make sure you go say hi to him, killing it there. And you can obviously see him on Talking Points. Speaking of Talking Points, now let's go through it. 316 in subs. Thank you guys. We keep growing there. We were at 315, my area code. Now we're at 316. Shark Boy. And our numbers are rising. We love that. But as we always say, one fan at a time, one friend at a time. And we love getting to talk to you guys individually as well as just as a group of people that view the show. So thank you for that. Keep coming. Make sure you spread the word. Hit like, hit subscribe. And 99 on Twitch. You know the rule here. We're 2 above our par. We need to be at the level that we are in episodes. But if you want to get us there, give us a little bit of a cushion. Make sure you follow us right here on Twitch. All right, guys. T-Hughes 1990, welcome back. So we got some fun stuff to talk about. We don't have many YouTube comments. We had some, not too many, honestly, so make sure you get those up, even if they're hey, this is what I'm thinking, or can I get your opinion on this? It doesn't have to be your opinion necessarily, but we welcome all opinions, and as I always say, we're here to build the Impact community, not just the TNAIW family, or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, Parkside, hey, Millard, what's going on, buddy? Yeah, we'll be talking about Lady Frost. We'll get to that in the Hot Topics section. But we will be skipping YouTube comments, as I said. Instead of that, and as you could see, I was the host of it all, so I was kind of, the in-between man. But you could see my opinion a little bit on the Talking Points episode, so I won't want to be redundant. So I put a quick shot here together. I'm going to time myself because I'm just, for shits and gigs, man. I'm having a good time. And I hope you guys do. Let's have fun with this, and that's what this is supposed to be about, right? He's stalling till he can hit it. All right, minute on the clock. This is my 1 minute, hopefully, review of Slammiversary. As I was saying, you go watch Talking Points. You can see some of my points there, but this is the wrap up. Here we go. All right, and go. Swan vs. Myers, fresh start for the title. Reverse Battle Royal was an enjoyable clusterfuck. The intro, I loved it. It had to start with the JJ shots, which it did awesome there. Ultimate X, Bailey's historic moment. That shot will be used 20 years from now. Deadass, I'm serious. Hudson interview Team Impact. Always loved Hudson, and I'm cool with Nicky James now, man. Respect what he said. Sting sends a message. Cool with this. I'm cool with Sting, but this dude will not let Joker Sting go. He will not let this shit go. Influence for Ragnarok, underrated as fuck. I implore you to go back and watch it. I'm deadass about that. Hard to follow Ultimate X. It did amazingly. I'm wasting time. Kurt Angle sends a message for $75. You too can get the same message from Kurt. When did I write this? Monsters Ball, instant classic. Mr. Slammiversary. Briscoes vs. Good Brothers. AMW was the highlight for me there. Bob Ryder tribute, rightfully so. Don West and Mike Tenay video. Absolutely perfect. Perfect. And then Christy, Coach, Tracy, Earl, Davey, Dixie, Honor No More vs. Team Impact. Exactly what it should have been. Loved it. Davey made perfect sense. I'm a little bit over, but fuck it. AJ Styles sends a message. He mentioned Elevation X. For all of you said that, he just did it out of... He mentioned Elevation X. That's love for the company, man. He mentioned that shit. Queen of the Mountain. Once they figured out, they really figured out, man. Mia's Benjamin, The Fall, all that stuff. Great shit. Brilliant. Loved it. Goldilocks, nothing but love for Goldilocks. You could catch her on one of our earlier episodes. My wife's going to kill me. Of TNA Jams. Go check that out. She does some videos for us there. And then Josh vs. Eric. I get why they went with the way they did. I loved it. Josh is the man coming out of it. But I really want to see Josh vs. EY straight up soon. No gimmicks, no other craziness, just one-on-one, because I think that really could be a 5-star match. All right, I went over. But now that Slammiversary is out of the way, we are post-Slammiversary. I'm going to drink some water. I got a little bit of the Velvet Sky mouth going on. Sorry about that, guys. All right. I see you guys talking about Giselle in there and all that. Yeah, we will get to all of that, man. Shout out to Giselle, by the way. I said it, and it goes for everything going on in the world. We don't have to see the same vision for the world. We don't have to like the same things. We don't have to believe in the same things. At the end of the day, respect everyone's opinion. And if it don't affect you, maybe not put your 2 cents in. All right. Guys, I'm going to keep it mainly positive, but to give me a little palate cleanser, yourself a little palate cleanser, and me once more some air, we're going to go to GoGoPowerRankings. So this is the one post-Slammiversary. You could have saw it on Turbo Tuesdays of the Power Rankings with Datila, who's in the chat right there, as well as Burt Macklin. They're rocking it out, man. They're having a great time doing it, and it looks awesome what they're doing. Love it. But they go a little bit on the other side of each Power Rankings. They talk about it. They give you their opinion, and you can like, comment, or even join the Power Rankings yourself. So check them out. But this is the one from the previous week, and you can check out this post, not Slammiversary, but post this Impact Tuesday with them. All right.
Number 10, Moose. Number 9, Eric Young and BBD. Number 8, Digital Media Champion Rich Swann. Number 7, The Impact Originals. Number 6, New Tag Team Champions, The Good Brothers. Number 5, The Death Machine, Sami Callihan. Number 4, New Tag Team Champions, Team Ragnarok. 3, New X Division Champion, Speedball Mike Bailey. Number 2, New World Champion, Jordan Grace. Number 1, and still World Champion, Josh Alexander.
All right, guys, do you agree that was the post-Slammiversary rankings? Once again, you could check out this version of the rankings, or this week's rankings, after this episode of Impact, this Tuesday with them on GoGoPowerRankings. All right, so we just talked about ranking. Guys, it's been a day. I was literally in a waterfall right before I got here. And now it's lightning and thunder. It's ass off, so. All right. There we go. Let's talk about Impact on Access TV. We'll get to what you guys thought about it in just a moment. Once again, I rocked it out this Thursday for live tweeting. He puts it out. If you guys don't like what you see, hey, speak of the devil, what's going on, buddy? If you don't like what you see, you can always vote yourself. Retweet it. Tell other people, tell your friends that love Impact to go rate it. But let's be unbiased. And I think we got a good score. We'll see the results, but surprising a little bit on the bottom end there. But let's talk about the Impact review board right here. All right, so we started off with Black Taurus versus Andrew Everett. Man, I love seeing Andrew Everett. It's cool, man. You know, I said it's bittersweet because I really love Jack Evans. But to see someone from a completely different era of Impact step in and do his thing, and man, he took that Hurricanrana. Oh, beautiful shit. But I love seeing this. I felt like the match was longer. Anyone else? I felt like BTI really gave its time here for both of them to shine. Love that they're letting Black Taurus and Crazy Steve still be a package, so you know they're a tag team. They can do one thing, but they expand just one division. And once again, good outing for Everett here. I don't know if he stays. I think this was just kind of a run with us, but I wouldn't be against it. Former tag team champion. Next up, in between here, was a Slammiversary recap. I always make sure to put over the intros or talk about the intros because obviously Impact is a brand, yes, but it is a company, and there are multiple facets within that company, and production being one of them. And these packages sometimes, for most of the time, set the tone for what's to come with this episode. But I thought they did a great job here because, yes, it was a full recap of Slammiversary, but Impact really stakes their claim on the pay-per-view, for me at least. I feel it's always consistent. Craig, TBN, you can check him out every Thursday, 4 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. BST. He always says it. Impact never goes below the pay-per-view level that they put out here. And obviously Slammiversary for me was an up, but anytime you can showcase the brand in its high moments, you do, and I thought they did a beautiful job here. And if for anyone who didn't go get Slammiversary, maybe it made you want to, or at least you're ready for Against All Odds, right? So great job there. Honor No More, and well, we'll stop there because obviously this was a two-part segment, but three, I guess. Good Brothers as well. Look, man, we're gonna talk about New Japan side of things, and if I feel like them being literally right now doing a show with another company, if that really hinders our relationship. But easy answer, and obviously we'll talk about it later, I'll say no, I don't think it does. But for the time being, is it going to give us a bare bones of what our company looks like without the boost of a New Japan? It does. And for me, honestly, showcasing Honor No More and kind of banking on, and knock on wood, and we'll talk about that as well. I know Bennett made some remarks for, regarding the ROH and whatever that I think were overblown a little bit. But banking on them and showcasing them as maybe not as a group. Once again, they was as a group, but they're slowly deteriorating. You could tell PCO might be the first the block to go here, right? But they're going to eventually do their own thing, and within them, they are part of that depth. And once again, you can check that out. Impact Zone, 9:15. All right. But anyways, so it's good to see Honor No More get the investment in time here. And let them run with it, man. Mike Bennett literally on camera. Great shots, by the way, not just by Bennett, but the actual, it made Impact look big, right? Is that just me? I don't know. The production, the quality, the shots, the angle. I don't know. I could go on and on for stuff. And I have the wrong terms anyways. But either way, it looked nice, man. I thought the crowd was hot, which was dope, even maybe more so than Slammiversary. Maybe I'm wrong. Call me out, but either way, I thought it was great. It showcased the whole group as individuals, then as a group itself, obviously. And then it obviously gets interrupted by AMW, which adds another element to this. Love to hear that song. Love to see both of them, man, together. Love to hear James Storm on the mic. I really liked it, man. The back and forth was cool. I didn't see this coming. as far as, yeah, they all shook hands in the ring and stuff, and I thought that was like a one-time payoff, you know, to see them kind of all respect and it to go pivot to this. I think that's pretty cool, man. I thought it was pretty cool. Obviously, it gave us the heads up that this is a one-man America's Most Wanted. Seems to be for the better. But really excited to see them on the television. Don't know if how long it's gonna last, but excited to see them. To see them there. And then obviously Good Brothers help and all that stuff too. So we know the match is set up for later. Yada yada. Next up, we have Shaw and Lish splitting up. Look, I said this for a few, well, I guess it feels like months now, man. The Diva Lish thing, I thought it was a good little detour for a lot of them. For a little bit of time for the two of them. And then, but it just didn't feel like that was going to be the final results, right? It didn't feel like them two together was the final end game that they were shooting for. I thought Giselle looking for the partner, which seems to be the case, is the big play here. And it seems to be. Who she ends up with should be interesting depending on who your idea was, especially with the Lady Frost stuff we'll talk about. But what I liked about it, though, is it wasn't putting down Lish, per se, right? She was, you lost against Masha, who won it? But you lost against Masha. I need to find the perfect fit for me. Maybe you should go find the perfect fit for you. Because now what this does is always puts it in the back of our mind that Lish is a person that can be a mainstay in that division, right? She can find someone else. She can add to that depth, that I think we will get very soon within that division. So I liked it. Brought them both up. Created two new things. Next up was Scott talking to the Honor No More and announcing the 5-on-5, which we eventually will know will change, which we'll get to later. So, the 5-on-5, by the way, for those who maybe not have watched, is going to be Honor No More facing James Storm, Good Brothers, and the Briscoes. All right. Next up, segment 6, we have Mia Yim defeating Chelsea Green with Deanna on commentating with on a commentating team. Long day, guys. With the commentating team. Once again, does anyone else remember the days where we literally had to have one of the announcers pass their microphone set, so there could be two if we had a guest at the booth. So to see this, I don't know why I still have that fear. Maybe rightfully so. Yeah, I get that too. Sorry for the audio listeners, but T Hughes 1990 brings up the awkward about Lady Frost, especially the release request. We'll get into that, and if I think that it plays into it or any of that, or if that could just be a write-off. But I get the sentiment. I lost my point. Anyways, but yes, that was a thing back in the day. Cool. I'm glad we can now have as many guests there that join Raywall and Hannah Fan to actually talk about things, expand the universe, let them put a different sound over the match as well, which I dig. All right. But what I really liked about it was Raywall still kept the continuity up of obviously him and Deanna were, a package deal before that, while also teasing the fact that her and Chelsea may be becoming a thing. Hey, are you going to become a tag team? Once again with the Giselle and Lish thing, making, splitting off and creating two. What I think it does is then says, hey, are you guys going to join that division as well? Obviously, that's what he literally said. But it then puts an emphasis on, is that something you're entertaining? Is that something exciting to you? It just makes it, I don't know, it makes it feel like it's something cool to be part of that division compared to be like, oh yeah, we're a tag team now, we're just going to come take over. Or, you know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe it's just me. All right, I see some things coming on there, and I'm sorry, guys. I am in the treehouse. It's thundering lightning, hot as hell, and on top of that, trying to double focus because Parkside 7, I always like to make sure I get what you guys are saying here and kind of mention it as well without taking too much time. Geoff, do you think that Giselle will join Madison Tennille to form a new faction similar to the Beautiful People? Ooh, I didn't think about that. I know obviously we'll get to the point where maybe they become, for the current time, if she can take care of Rosemary. I'm not sure she can. I won't take Rosemary that lightly. But to create this spark, especially with Madison, props to Madison, man. Not enough credit for Madison in general, in her talents. I think it's hard when she's literally, within such other, big personalities and legends, to be honest. But she holds her own, man, in that same regard, and she deserves her flowers next. I went back and watched this whole pay-per-view, maybe 3 times, maybe, I don't know, and and you could see when it happens, man, and God bless her, she finishes the match, man. The match doesn't slow down. It doesn't seem, at least from the that vantage point from our as the consumer, but congrats, man. That's dope, man. Loved it. But as far as joining the Beautiful, I like that, man. I would prefer to create a new thing. I would love and prefer for Caleb to come back and create something with her. But we'll see. I think more the merrier. At the same time, 88 minutes of television, 15 knockout tag teams. What do you do? Good problem to have, but what do you do? And I think that plays a part in the Lady Frost thing, which we'll talk about in a little bit. So next up, well, that took care of it for me. Thanks, guys. But Mia Yim picked up the win there, surprisingly. I thought Chelsea might, with the numbers too, factor do that, but no shame losing to Mia. Mickey comes out for the save as well, which is cool to see Mickey there. I told someone who said that, she's done with Impact. I just didn't see it, even before Slammiversary, obviously. I just think she always has a home here, and I think the bridge between Impact and NWA is pretty tight at the moment. Next up was Gujar and Shark Boy defeating Swingers here, Dice and Swingman. You guys know my love for Swingman and Dice. I really hope they get that bromance moment of at least one win, title win, because I will pop just the same. But taking losses here to Gujar and Shark Boy, it ain't gonna happen anytime soon. But it gets Gujar out there, gets him the time to work the television, and I don't know, man. To be honest, it felt like a filler match. I don't want to give it that discredit. But at the same time, if this is where the New Japan, in which we'll talk about, is missing, this segment was it. At the same time, once again, beautiful transitions and segues that they have been doing lately, where it's not just cut dry. Everything's feels in the same family, in the same world. And this was another example of that. Because VBD comes out, attacks Gujar and Sharky to put Doring over. Man, guys, look. I know it's a two-week blow-off against all odds, obviously being that. I love Doring in the tag division. I love him as a character. I love his facial expressions. I love his previous work. I respect the fuck out of the guy. But the man wrestles like he plays on N64 No Mercy. I mean, are we supposed to believe he has a chance here? I love it. It's not a thing of I don't like his matches. I don't like his thing. Obviously, once again, you don't go see Batman versus Penguin and expect Penguin to win. Or that's not why you go, at least most of us. So I'm okay with the short blow-off. I respect the dude. I know it's going to still be fun. But goddamn, guys. All right. A lot of you pushing him as the champion, and I just not for me. Anyways, so VBD comes in once again looking strong. That's not nothing against Doring as what he his part in the show of what he's been doing. Love it. The big guy, the muscle for VBD, the multi-man tags. Him versus BG or Big LG. There were, so let's not go that route. Don't need y'all hating on me over something like that. All right. Anyways, they come out. Diener, surprised all his time in Impact Wrestling and TNA in between. This is his first promo, in the ring promo. That's crazy to me. But love that he got it here, man. Love that he got it. And then that led to a match. We had talked about it in our little our team chat about maybe him being the the person that gets the shot here. I'm glad he at least got something going into it, because I think Diener's underrated as well. I do. And to get him get a little shine while Eric Young is missing in action, which I love that, by the way. Not just pushing right back into it. You took the loss. I love that this lets the time, for the time to kind of sizzle and let it fizzle out with the other two members of VBD, so Josh can move on to whatever's next. I hope I'm right, but we'll talk about where I think that is. I'm probably wrong. If you watched this show before. Let's see. So anyways, that led into Alexander making the save here, having the confrontation there, and then defeating Diener. Loved it there. Loved that they gave it time. They found a beautiful blend, man, of not only, when Max and I used to talk about all the time, we will talk about it on the Impact Zone, that every spot is important here, right? Obviously now we can see where there's some weaker and some depth. But not only does everyone get used to where they fit the best, I guess, is the best way to put it. Used to their positives, not their negatives, and you're not wondering, where the hell is that person most of the time? Not only do they do that well, they've somehow, within 88 minutes, found to give enough time for these matches to actually feel like matches again. You remember there was that period of time, man, not recently, but prior, that just, this must have been in some other era, because I keep going back to that era. You remember that time when? Yeah. Anyways, next up after that was Gio with Frankie Kazarian. We're gonna have another battle of the futures. I think this is where we blow off Frankie Kazarian being with Impact in this run. Loved what he said here, man. I've always fucked with Frankie Kazarian. Loved his work, and disappointed when he left us, and then he came. But then I was stoked when he came back. After he was on that one SmackDown. I don't know. Maybe I am time traveling, guys. All right. But love that we're going to have that match this coming week. Great show coming up, by the way. I'll hit that. Next up, Tasha gets her rematch. Love this here. Showed Jordan's worked her onto the show. Showed her how happy she is to have this title. I thought that was the right decision. Now, this gives Tasha her rematch at Against All Odds, and then maybe her and Savannah can move on to the tag division as well. Maybe she stays. But either way, man, I thought Tasha sounded good. She looked great. You know how I feel about Tasha. All right. Number 13, here we go. Sammy defeated Jack Price. Once again, man, how cool is it to have Sammy back on our televisions? Always just a fucking bundle of creativity, from the entrance to his segments always hit. Him and Gail, obviously, we'll talk about that in a second. But yeah, man, love to have him back there. Love him just having a match, and yes, against an enhancement or a local talent. But good to continue the storyline that we're getting to it Against All Odds with him and Moose by having him there. Beautiful timing. This is one thing I do want to mention again about Slammiversary. I know this is silly, but that trash can spot. That trash can spot where Moose falls in the trash does not work if Sammy looks even slightly behind him. I know that's silly and frivolous, but it just reminded me. Sammy's timing is and Moose to his credit as well is just impeccable. In this moment where he's on the ropes, he climbs, and you see Moose in the beautiful. I'm not even saying sentences. That's how damn good it was. All right, but Moose attacks. There we go. Love that it continued there. Screw it, we'll skip it and go back to Good Brothers, Briscoes, and America Most Wanted. Sammy and Gale, obviously he gets his Ravens Clockwork Orange House of Fun match. Love these matches. I remember the one, man, where there's one where X-Pac came in because I can't remember what happened, man. But him and Raven, he fell through the gate, tore it up. Go back and watch these matches. Is there rules that are different than anything else? No, not really. Does it look different? Yeah, they put a gate up or a cage side up. They put some locks or some chains and some staplers and stuff hanging from it. It's a good time, man. But no, you pin them everywhere. Whatever. Yeah. That's gut check winners. Yeah, that's Jack Price, right? That is where I've been so blind to the gut check thing. I was talking to someone about, and I thought they were talking Shogun and all that. These guys that are winning on these local gut checks, it's good to see that. I'm starting to see them put it out, their pictures of them and stuff like that, and them getting the actual photo shoots and shit. So that's cool. But I am if anyone can enlighten me on that, let me know, because so blind to not television, to be honest with you. Going back though, so we get that match. I'm excited about it. Great to see Gail on television, and it's going to be really cool against all odds, man. For such a quick turnaround, I'm really stoked to see. Yeah, next up we're talking Briscoes in America's Most Wanted. Mark's teaching them the karate chop, and yeah, so they're talking. Good brothers come in. They got each other's back. I saw someone mention it there. I can't really go back too far. Oh, there we go. I think it was Io. How soon before the Good brothers stabbed them in the backs? I don't know. I don't know how that plays. I don't know where we're going to go. I think Mark takes a little leave here, so it might be a while that way. But as far as America's Most Wanted, that'll be interesting. I don't know. I never really put some thought onto that, because I really believe, and that's what we're leading to here. I really love the James Storm telling him, you're retired from wrestling for a reason, man. I can't let you do it. Stay back here. You got to promise me. I thought that realism to that point was good, and it also told us that he is retired from wrestling without saying, hey, this guy can't go. You know what I mean? Or whatever it may be. I don't know the inside details of that. Maybe this is a thing. I didn't look into it that far. Is this a work to where he can... It's just, let's give him some time to get back in the ring, practice, whatever, and then the big payoff is AMW wrestling again, because the feud is so, right? It's possible. But I love this segment because it knocked out three birds, one stone. You saw maybe the Good brothers being good, and they were, right? It showed the Briscoes being the Briscoes, and it showed America's Most Wanted and told us a lot about where they're at. So I dug that segment. These little things that involve... Love it. All right. And last up was Honor No More defeating Storm in the Briscoes. Good brothers trying to make the save after they obviously send Mark out of commission, man, just like they did with Heath and Rhino. Where this leads, I don't know. One could say, and I want to be the optimist, as Io was definitely being, and just say that this is because he just had his seventh child. I have one and I'm gassed, man. And he has a chicken farm. But what's interesting to me with that, and we'll get to, obviously that far, is that Jay wasn't obviously put out of commission either. I don't want to jump too far ahead. But it did what it needed to do. I thought the match was great. Well, let me hit that first. Love the little spark of dissension with PCO being the only person to take a loss or whatever that is. And then love that they're standing tall. I'm okay with it. I know some people are burnt out over it, but once again, I think you build them up until you split them up. So let's keep rocking with that. And I love seeing Storm back in the ring, man. How cool is that, man? It feels like there's no time between, and I can go through each time he's gone and returned, or we thought he was gone and he returned, and every time it's just like he never left. It's like a bicycle, right? But with them hurting Mark, obviously made that 5-on-5 a little cloudy, right? We don't know what we're going to get. Right now we know it's James Storm and the Good brothers. Who are the other two? Is Jay going to stick around and be that fourth out of the five? Or do we get a new tag team? Or another tag team returning? We'll see. The possibilities are endless. But, all right, let's get out of that, and let's get into what you guys thought about it. I've been rocketing here in the chats. I see you guys. Thank you so much. Love and respect, for real. Long day, but this is always the cherry on top. I mean that. What did you rate Impact on Access TV? Once again, you can only be the ones that change this. Go vote, because there's a D and a C for 7.1%. Interesting. I don't want to chalk it up to trolls, because I think C is possible. Maybe you just thought it was an average show. D, I don't really think, man. I thought this was a pretty dope show. I'm not going to give it the A plus, but hey, man. Hey, Gary, what's up, buddy? he sees a lockdown match coming involving H&M. Oh, that would be cool. I'll take it. 52.4% for our audio listeners. That's an A. So over half of you vote an A on this episode. 33.3% voting B. And then the other 14.2 split evenly between C and D. I did that math live. Whoa. All right. Do you guys agree? Where were you guys lighted up in the chat? I want to hear you. If you're not in the chat, make sure you like, subscribe, all that stuff while you're watching this on YouTube. And put your comments. Let us know. What did you think of the show? Did you think it was a D? Let me know. Thought it was a decent show. I agree. I thought there were segments that, not that could have been better, but just feeling process out of Slammiversary, right? Doesn't feel like we're on the gas pedal, but obviously it's because Against All Odds is right around the corner. So I understand, but I understand. I always understand. Common ground, right? All right. Hot topics. You know what? I've been talking for a bit. I could use a little water, right? You guys can use a palate cleanser. Let's talk to our old buddy Dave. Let's watch a little segment from Meltzer. Be right back.
Tired of trolling but not getting the clout you deserve? At Dave Meltzer's School of Clowning, we'll teach you everything from shitting on Impact to really shitting on Impact. Enroll now for the low price of $11.99 a month, and you too can be just like Dave. Other classes include Bringing People Down 101 and Calling Myself a Journalist but Calling Companies by the Wrong Name. Use the code BIASPAYSMYBILLS for 15% off at checkout.
Watch it every Thursday night. Oh, man. Yeah, I see Gary saying that. I like the show on Thursday. I would have said in the B-ish range. This week's show does look better, though. Yeah, let's get that out of the way in case you don't rock with us all the way to the end, because we literally go all the way to the end. And then you can have a little break between 9:50 until 9:15 where you can catch the Impact Zone Live with Max and I talking some cool things. And look out for some cool stuff with Max and I outside of the Impact world. Yes, we're going to take a step out because we're friends and we like to talk about things. And I'm a father and I need an outlet. All right. This Thursday, we have a number one contendership for the X Division title. We have Chris Bay versus Macklin versus Laredo Kid versus Trey Miguel. Ace Austin versus Alex Zane finishing that feud. Maybe continuing it. We'll see. And then Giselle Shaw versus Rosemary. Sabin versus Kazarian. And was there a reference of Tasha telling Jordan that she has to go through Savannah first? So maybe there's another match there. I don't know. Maybe that's BTI. Maybe I'm once again lost in the shuffle. But yeah, make sure you watch that. And while we're plugging Impact, if you guys rocked with us day one, this is a familiar name. And if not, get introduced to him because he just got a job as a social media manager with Impact Wrestling. Back in the day, we had a Ultimate Pusher Tyreek on here, man. And it was a fun time. This was way early in the show. He gave us a chance, obviously to interview him and talk about some things. And really cool guy who's always staying in touch. Dope dude. Go show him some love on the on the awesome Impact Wrestling Twitter account. And then, of course, as he pushes these shows, man, you guys see him coming out like crazy. So make sure you join the street teams. If you want to make an impact, pun intended, hit up those street teams. If you can't hit up the street teams, go to the shows. If you can't go to the shows, spread the word, okay? The only way this expands, if you joined me in the last episode for 96, is through positivity and us all working together as a group, right? But he's doing a phenomenal job of getting this stuff out there. You can watch his videos, his personal ones on his personal account, but obviously on Impact Wrestling as well. But we have Against All Odds this Friday, July 1st at the First Center Stage in Atlanta, followed by Southern Hospitality July 2nd, Derby City Rumble in Louisville, Kentucky, July 15th and 16th. Emergence August 12th in Cicero Stadium, Chicago, Illinois. Second City Slam the following day. August 26th and 27th, not announced as far as the place. But it's August 26th and 27th, but it's in Dallas. And then, of course, join us when a lot of the crew will be in Philly at the end of September. And what I was going to say was this. Last time we went to a show, it was literally, obviously, a year ago. We went to last Slammiversary. I did not know anyone but Max, right? And we got to hang out with some really cool people. Some people we talk to this day. Some people are actually on the team. And you can watch them on all the nonsense on TNAIW channel that they invoke. And, man, really dope experience. What I implore of you guys, even if it's awkward, because it's just gonna be, you don't know people, there's gonna be that weird spot. But once you get at the show and you sit together, get up and be loud. Welcome the stupidity of maybe hitting a chant or it not working. Get into that, man. It's a good fucking time, and you'll meet people that you probably, well, literally would have never met elsewhere. So we'll check that out. And, of course, as I was talking before, I see Gary mentioned that you like Tyreek. Yeah. Good dude. Go check him out. Show him some love and all that jazz. All right, so we got 20 minutes. We are going to rock it with hot topics before I send you off into the world. And we got some cool ones, all right? First, let's hit the Lady Frost one, because you guys, I keep seeing you mention it there. And I really want to hit up my thoughts on that. Now, I don't get into innuendo. She put out a thing, as very polite, said she just asked for a release, respected the time, yada, yada, yada. I was informed by Max that allegedly, and I don't know how, I didn't look at this to be honest, if it was overbooking and stuff of that nature. Now, I don't know her life. I follow her on Twitter, respectfully. I know she mentioned she had a procedure. I don't know if that's because she wasn't booked or not. I'm not here to speculate on that. But I will say, if it's about the booking, we can't say when. I'll say this. We don't know the backstage, and we don't know the relationship, right? As far as talent, it's a loss any way you chalk it up if she is released, because she's got a great gimmick. She's dope in the ring. But at the same time, looking at for her perspective, if I'm not being used how I want, and I think she's 37 years old, I got probably 2-3 good contracts in me, right? Look at the talent Impact is bringing in this Knockouts and Knockouts tag division. Do I sit on a contract and do what I can with Impact and get featured here and there and then take care of that, look for the opportunity? And I just feel like the Impact she came into is not the Impact she's walking back into if she were to today. And I mean that the depth is pretty strong in that division. It really is. She obviously once has a husband as well who Impact didn't sign. Does that play into it? I don't know. But I can say, once again, and this isn't a discredit to her whatsoever, she isn't a household name. Not many are, right? So for her contract, you want to get, in my eyes, if I'm an individual who is up and coming in the wrestling game, you want to get your name out there. You want to make as much money as you can while as young as you can, and your body is in the shape it is. That makes sense. It made sense, right? So I don't fault her for it. You don't know what's going on backstage. You don't know why the booking is the way it is. I don't know the relationship. I don't know any of that stuff. But I will say that even though it's stacked, no matter which way you want to cut it up, she's a very intriguing prospect. And by that I'm saying that I'm saying that as a minimum. I think she's a great talent, and I think if you can make a impact elsewhere for more money, when they might have been interested in you right before you signed, I think you take the money. Some people aren't in a position to care about the creative now. Make that money first. Make that foundation for you and your husband gets an opportunity maybe as well, if that's the case. Good. He's a talented dude. Whatever gets their foot in the door. So I have no whatever ill will towards that. I hope they can work it out. If they can't, then I understand why not. But if it's over the booking, I get it. But once again, I don't know what loop she was available for. I don't know if the time away from wrestling was because of Impact or whatever. So I'm not going to speculate on that or say what it definitively was, because I have no clue. But it sucks, right? It sucks. I just think, you look at it and yeah, you could say she fits in. There's a lot of places she could fit in. Da-da-da-da. Oh, I agree. But how does she think she fits in? Where does she want to be? What does she need in life? That's what's important as well. You guys always look at it as the 2K fantasy booking way. You got to think from the human aspect as well. All right, speaking of that, let's talk about New Japan. Obviously, the Forbidden Door, or to not be said, according to Good Brothers, is going on right now. Jay White, El Phantasmo, off the roster page, right? I think this was the first Impact in quite a while where we did not feel a New Japan presence. I mean, besides for a Bullet Club reference or two, right? I like to think of as they're doing their thing. Once again, they're going to make their money. They're going to get their name out there the way they want to and on a bigger platform. I understand that. No harm, no foul. They took care of us for quite a while. I think they'll take care of us again. But it's a good time for us as the fans to look at what we have on our own 2 feet. And why is that good is because I think we underestimate the depth that we have and the depth that we can build in this time with it just being an Impact branded show. Now, of course, there's James Storm and some names that come in and out. But I see a lot of people upset about it or think it's going to really do a lot. I just, and that's all respect to New Japan. I love having them mention their talent, their belts on our television. I do. At the same time, how does Impact move on from this? They're teaming with MLW, they're teaming with NWA a little bit, right? So I think there's other opportunities out there. But I think after Against All Odds, we might have some more names within Impact as well. Okay. How do I feel as far as, and I think that's where the question goes, right? And we'll go into depth on the Impact Zone with Max, as I said multiple times, fully plug. So I don't want to be too redundant. But as far as all the buzz of this being something that is the end of the world, no, I don't think that whatsoever. If anything, it makes New Japan on a bigger spotlight, so when they come back, us on a bigger spotlight as well. And at the same time, if that doesn't happen, can we put on a product that is still entertaining to the fans? And I think that answer is yes. I mean, look how much forward we are looking to Thursday's show. But last I want to talk about the Briscoes, because we've already mentioned it and I've already alluded to and where I think this goes. The fact that they only took Mark out gives me hope. One, that it's just for the time being. Two, I think if it's the reason we all think, which is he just had his 7th kid, he needs to be home and take care of life, rightfully so. If it's just that and Impact's, hey, we take the belts off you, you go take care of that. We'll keep Jay doing things and you have a spot here. ROH coming back or not, sometimes it's the action of the individual compared to the brand of the individual or the team of the individual, however you want to word it, right? ROH coming back is them in name, right? It's the legacy that we don't know where it's going. Is it a permanent thing? Is it an ongoing thing? And even if it's an ongoing thing, you might have the same, the same build of the house, but the people inside aren't the same. The people writing out the checks aren't the same. The family atmosphere is probably not the same. And I mean not family friendly. I just maybe necessarily the group atmosphere, right? Or the group that you've built and worked with for years and years, from announcers to ring announcers and so on, who unfortunately most of don't have jobs at this moment in the wrestling. Right. So, I understand both sides to that, but I just think Impact is doing an investment in the Good Brothers. I think the Briscoes. And I think the Briscoes have been men of their word and have entertained the hell out of us since they came through the doors. So we'll see where it goes. But once again, the fact that they had Mark only taken out gives me some hope for something I've been clamoring for quite a bit. Which is Jay versus Josh. Look, I don't know if I'm getting ahead of myself. I don't read spoilers. This is a spoiler-free show, pro wrestling, and everything in between. So we try to keep it free and friendly here, but no spoilers. And so if I'm wasting your time, I apologize. But if Jay doesn't get taken out this week, what happens for Josh after Against All Odds, right? I hope it's Jay Briscoe versus Josh Alexander. Right? Of course, put the finishers aside. Don't they just have the same aura and the same build and the same I'm going to do whatever the fuck it takes to make sure this match is a banger look and feel? Yes, I think they do, man. And that match would be balls to the wall. I don't care if it's at Emergence in Chicago or they save it for Bound for Glory. I give no shits. But once again, I think that's something we could look forward to. And as you guys are mentioning there with Bennett and the relationship there, yeah, I'll get to that because I think that was a little overblown. People saying, oh, he's waiting for ROH to open back up. Maybe he is. That place meant a lot to him. But once again, none of the people in that place are the ones that helped him mean a lot to him, right? Helped it mean a lot to him. Not at the moment, from what we right. Okay, so who knows? He's grateful to Impact, and I'm grateful for him to be here. I love Mike Bennett. Followed his career since ROH, and I mean literally house shows of ROH. Dug the dude, man. Always dug the dude. Happy to see where he's at. Full circle with that Miracle clothing, man. Or, get up at Slammiversary. I just think him and Maria and Taven's a separate entity that I think he's locked in with Impact, man. Especially if that promo. He didn't kill ROH. He saved Impact, right? I thought that was dope. He's got a shirt. I hope they stay, man, because you don't know what you're getting there. At the same time, they're grown people to make the decision that's best for them and their family. But yes, you can't at the same time throw away the investment and the love and welcome that Impact showed these people, right? So we'll see. We'll see. Once again, what matters most to them at the time, right? Impact can only do so much. But I think Gary taking the words out of my mouth, my friend. Bennett and Taven, I think they're future tag team champions, and I'm going light with. I can see the Kingdom in some facet if this were on the same trajectory, growing. With Taven eventually as world champion and Bennett as the digital media champion. I just see it, man. I know some people are whatever on that, but I just think not only the human beings that they seem to be, not only the talent in the ring, but the fact that you can put them out there and they have their own set of fans without doing any work. That's a variable not many have. What about Aldis, Fatu, and Hammerstone? Yeah, man, his future opponents for Josh. Obviously, he's facing Fatu, right? And then Aldis, look, I said it in my try to be 1 minute review of Slammiversary. He won me over, man. Obviously, much of my blah with him was how he left. Not his, how he left Impact per se, but the words on the way out. I understand. I get it. And then to have your run be called this and that from the fan, I get it. I do. But he has grown leaps and bounds. I take that L from what he was, and I wouldn't mind seeing him there permanently. Yeah, I said it. Look how hard it was for me to say it. I go back on my word. But I'm honest, right? Yeah, man, I think that's great. I would love for Impact, we'll talk about that, in the depth charts. I would love for Impact to add just one more mainstay to the world title picture. That's without even bringing Ace up. I would love one more mainstay. I always say the Attitude Era had 4 to 5. They only had one show before they had SmackDown, right? They had The Rock, Austin, Taker, and Who? Mankind, Triple H, or Kane, right? You always change 4 to 5. We don't need 15. So it's nice to add a little flavor there from outside as well. I agree with that, but I don't want to be dependent on it. I think we can all agree on that. Thank you, Datila. You always kill these solo shows. I love when you say that every time because they've been solo every time you've said it, which makes sense. But yeah, this is gonna be me on this show, more of a podcast, more like feel me talking to you, more intimate, which I really dig, man. Once again, I do a lot outside of this. Doesn't mean I love Impact any less. I love Impact Wrestling as much as I love my Knicks. And anytime I get to talk to them and see fellow people that are supportive and liking what's going on, but also even sometimes, I won't say disruptive, that's the wrong one. We have different opinions, right? I love that. I love that because I like seeing different sides of something that I might not see from, and vice versa. As in the world. Love each other, people. All right. Let's wrap this up. Thank you for rocking with us. Make sure you hit like, subscribe, all that jazz. Go say hi to Io on our Twitter. Go say hi to, I was going to say Tyreek on his Twitter. And go watch our guys, Craig and Nixon, man, every Thursday, talking bloody nonsense. Every Thursday, 4 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. BST. We're getting through it, guys. And then this Tuesday, look out for the new Power Rankings with Datila and Bert, who are fucking killing it, man. There's nothing more rewarding in this, man, than not only, one, yes, uniting people and Impact fans when we go to, I love that shit. Do it more, guys. Once again, I said it earlier, do it again. Not only go to the shows and look at who's around you. Make friends. Bring friends. Oh, Jesus, man. Millar, man. You're killing me. Kyrie and the Knicks. We'll talk about that. Me and Max might talk about that soon on a different thing as well. Go check out everyone. Datila and Bert, they're killing it. There's nothing more filling than having some people who just mesh on, being brought together and not even knowing each other prior and just vibing and having a good time and loving something and putting something out there together, man. I think that's dope. So thank you for supporting us. The number's been great, and thank you once again. I don't know if I said in the beginning, I thought I did, but Talking Points Slammiversary. Io, Lucha, Craig, myself. We're almost hitting 500 views. Might not seem a lot in the grand scheme of things, but to us it means the world. We thank you for every single minute of watching you do, of liking, retweeting, and all that jazz, man. Love you guys. I appreciate it. I feel like I'm missing a shit ton of stuff. Catch the Impact Zone. Thank you, Io. At 9:15, live premiere on YouTube. 30-minute sweet spot. Tuesday catch. Go Power Rankings. I'm going to get some sleep. Good night, everybody. Good night. Thank you, guys.